I guess without further ado, because man, I'm not getting what I was supposed to be getting over here. It's not giving.
What
Definitely
happened?
not giving. It's not been given, man. My starting soon screen is not giving.
Okay.
it's not it's not giving what it's supposed to give. What's up with you, man?
Not much, not much. Flew back. When was that? Monday. So back in the States now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, man. Yo, so we supposed to start at 3. I finally got a chance to bomb Andre for being late. It's
Mhm.
usually me, usually Noah, but I get it ain't me this time. It's Dre. It's definitely it's Dre, man.
Sure.
Uh,
We'll go with that for this time. I'll give it to you.
Dre, make sure your good mic is plugged in.
My good mic is plugged in. Can you hear
Make
me?
sure. I mean, you sound like you want a regular degular.
Well, hold on, because it might be settings.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it is.
See that? See how much better that sound?
All right.
See how much nicer that is? It's more premium that is. So much more premium, all right. Yo, starting things off, like I don't know how we even want to start things off. Usually, we just pop in, talk about what we've been playing, what we've been doing, what we've been kind of looking at. But we know what we've been doing. We know what's happened. We know what we've been looking at. We know the feedback we got. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Um, you know, people is just excited of what's happening, liked what they seen, like what's been going on. Uh NBH Smash. Yes or no? You like it? Was it nice?
Do I like it?
Yeah, was it nice?
Yeah, I think it was nice. No, and it was. I think it's a weird thing for someone who runs their own event to not think it's nice unless they did something catastrophic.
Now you might
So
be like, yeah,
we
yeah.
the team, we went and we talked about it, right? We talked about what we could have done better. We talked about what we did well. But by far, I think that we just did a really really bang up job overall with everyone that we were working with on that event. So no, I couldn't be more happy about the turnout and how the event panned out for everyone.
Yes, definitely. We had GameHeads out, TK out, and Bahamas Esports Federation alongside me, my streaming buddy for the day, Armagon popping through on the stream. Armagon, Mike.
Hey guys, what's up?
What's happening, man? It was
Right here.
it was a fun day for you, right?
Oh yeah, well, it's fun and stressful at the same time.
You seem to be having so much fun. I was stressed, and while I'm stressed, I'm looking over at Michael, and he's having the time of his life watching those loser brackets, man. And I'm like, I wish I could have that fun.
I
Just
mean, it was
keep
a
at
lot
it.
of work going into that
Oh,
mainstream, right? I mean,
Yeah.
there was a lot more moving parts.
It was
Mhm.
like you were even doing the I remember seeing the character intros and everything like that. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
So,
character intros were great.
how do you feel about the event overall, man? On your side?
for me, I think it went well. We had a great turnout. We had people on both streams, which is always great to see. Especially a lot of people I saw were on the main stream.
Mhm.
And I know we did the second bracket just so that we could showcase all or as many of those matches as possible.
Mhm.
So I don't think there are many places that will do something like that, and so for that to actually happen, that's great.
Yeah, because if you tell your Grammy Yeager and I'm gonna be in this tournament, right? Grammy go on see, right? She
Yeah.
go on see, and you say you were there, but I ain't see you. You say your match 2 o'clock, but I hear and I see you. She was able to go to the stream with BESF for a lot of those matches as well, man. So I feel good about it. I haven't gotten any negative feedback. Things been nice.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, even on Fusion's side, right? We've heard nothing but positive things from them. They thought it was a really well planned and good looking event overall, right? We had a lot of people come out there. It was about 100 people that showed up just in the audience itself. Paired with how many of us that were working that event, which was, I believe, at least 20 of us. 16 to 20 of us, right? So it was about 120 people out there actually at the event there for Super Smash Brothers and to see the 16 players compete and succeed.
Okay, we got Mike back.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know.
You're okay.
You got Mike back. I mean, like, so Dre, what do we start with, man? Do we start with the winner? Do we start with, just getting the players together, or how the players are doing? Like, where do we start?
I mean, let's start with the winner, right? I mean, so he had, and me and Michael joked about this multiple times, right? Piranha Plant won the first, we like to call major in the Bahamas, like the first big Smash esports event in the Bahamas, and Piranha Plant of all characters, the joke character wins the entire event, right? So even from there, it exceeded my expectations because that's my favorite character in the game, right? I love Piranha Plant, right? When I feel like I was the only person who was hyped when Piranha Plant got revealed as the first DLC character, and it was really something at the very least to see Leonard Killer beat Fraudfish's Meta Knight. Which had been performing extremely well all day, right? I mean, he was doing some crazy things off stage with Meta Knight, really making his name out there. And he had also brought himself all the way up from losers bracket, right, when he got knocked out the first time, all the way to the grand finals, and the Plant held it down, right? So by all means, it was really good. It was a really good showing on his part.
I mean, it's interesting to see somebody. Well, I've heard who were the favorites, right? I heard who the favorites. Leonard was there, but he wasn't like, I'm sure it's gonna be them, right? So we had the brother duo, Leonard Killer and Corn Beef, right? They were always spoken about. Of course, Fraudfish always spoken about. Moldy's once spoken about Noggy. Especially everything he's done with his character and just standing out above everything else as some of the top names to look out for. But just to see Leonard Killer, and he, the thing about it is, like you say, he didn't use his main, right? Which they gave me his main. I thought his main was, Bayonetta, that we was gonna see some nice Bayonetta, right? It's
Right.
the only, person coming forward as the Bayonetta main. We didn't see that. We saw that Piranha Plant. I wish I could talk to to him to figure out what made him say, you know what, I'm gonna surprise everybody with this pick and just give them Piranha Plant.
Well, it wasn't even a pick to surprise everybody. It was a pick to basically counterpick what Fraudfish had picked, right? Piranha Plant is more and more commonly known as just Spikeball itself. He chose that because based on the matchup that he was going into. Right. When I spoke with Fraudfish afterwards, he was like, "Yeah, I knew he was going to pull out the Plant because he always pulls out the Plant because that is my worst matchup for the characters that I like to play." Right?
I mean, some of the matches I seen, he was using it before he hit Noah though. He used it in a few matches.
hey, well then maybe it was something new that he was bringing out. Maybe when it came to this event, he really thought that he was so confident in himself and his abilities that he could play one of the worst characters in the game, more commonly just known as a joke character, and win the entire thing, which he did.
I think he wanted to get it warm. It's like, yo, if I'm gonna take the quote unquote my biggest threat in this whole thing, I feel I need to warm up this piranha plant. I need to be able to take out this, who I feel is not as difficult before I get to, my big challenge, right? I think maybe that was the thinking.
Maybe. But hey, we had the interview at the end of the stream, right? So I mean, I can't exactly remember what he said, but maybe he gives some insight into exactly what he was thinking in those matches when he was playing against Frogfish and some of the other players. I wasn't aware that he was purely just using Piranha Plant. I thought he was probably maybe I thought I saw Lucina in there one time, maybe mistaken. But regardless of what it was, he was also the one who originally knocked Frogfish down into losers bracket with that same Piranha Plant, right? So it was an uphill battle for Frogfish the entire time.
What do you think about the Piranha Plant, Mike?
Piranha Plant was one of the first characters I played in Smash. Oh, sorry about that. When it came out in Ultimate, so I had a little bit of love for there already. I was just surprised to actually see it, but much love, and very surprising for something of that level to try and finish off with. Like
right,
that,
exactly.
That caught me by surprise. Like, this is technically like a national level event, and you're in the finals.
Yeah,
with Piranha Plant.
Yeah, pulling out one of the characters in the entire game. So that was the thing. Like, everyone was like, he's really pulling out the plant. And not only that, but he was taunting the entire match. He knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing, right? He was like, I'm gonna troll Frogfish in this grand finals. And that's exactly what he did. And he won the it was I believe it was 500 for first place. Right straight off of that. So hey, congrats to him especially. I'm a Piranha Plant enjoyer myself, right? I told Frogfish, because he's part of GameHeads as well, I was like, my allegiance to Piranha Plant outweighs my allegiance to game. So by all means, like, I stopped what I was doing whenever I saw the plants on screen, and I was like, man, I really want him to win. I really need this plant.
I remember you saying that. I remember you saying that.
Exactly. Right. And that's the entire event. I was rooting for the plant to win. I was like, if plant wins, this is going to be legendary.
Let me see if I can get this.
Definitely, and we appreciate each and every one of y'all. I am so glad. Now hold on, before we leave, I have more people. We got more people to shout out because we got to make sure this thing is done correctly. We got to shout out. We gotta go. Make sure you go follow GameHeads on GameHeads.tv.
True.
Twitch.tv/GameHeads.tv.
True.
No, it's Twitch.tv/GameHeads_TV. I keep getting it wrong. That's my bad. I don't know. But you go follow them on Facebook. They're on Twitter and Instagram. And we have to give them thanks for putting this event together. This was a great event. All right. We also got to give a shout out to BESF because they had their version. And if we have to make we
right.
Appreciate that. No weather, but everything cool though. It was an awesome fight. How did you feel going in on that?
I won't lie, I was nervous because Noah, he did come close inside winners final. Yeah, he came close, like just one stalk away. So yeah, I know. Yeah, but I picked the same character, Piranha Plant, and yeah, Piranha Plant is his weakness. So boom. Yeah.
Was you any kind of nervous when he went to Ganondorf instead?
Yeah.
I forgot about
Ganon,
that.
he could get them cheap kills. Like he could just wham forward smash. Yeah.
Do it. This thing was amazing. What was your thought process going on for this entire tournament? Did you come in? Because listen, you dressed the part. All right, like you and your brother dressed the part. Look at this. Fresh, okay? And I
He
ain't
should have
talking about
brought his
fresh
brother
with
in
F.
for that
I
too,
mean
just to
PH.
get the shot.
Fresh, okay? This dude him and his brother come dressed tonight. Shoes. Look out. You come here to win. Basically, that was your thought process, I'm assuming, right?
I didn't say I was gonna win in the group chat. I said easy pickings. They say Dario, why you so cocky? But
See,
I
this
don't
is
know
what I
about
was
you.
saying. This is what I was saying.
Well,
He
anyway,
knew he was
guys,
going
thank
into
you
this.
so
He
much.
knew,
It's
I'm going to
been one
dress
hell
to
of a
impress everyone to dress up because everyone's going to see me on stream the most because I'm going to win this event.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
and
and
that's what I'm talking about, right? When he walked into that into Fusion that day, and he as soon as we started that event, right? He knew, right? Like he was confident that he was going to at least be top 3,
yeah.
right? So it was really really great to see.
I mean, for him to say easy pickings, man, I just love it.
But that's why I told you, right? That's why I picked the piranha plant. That is Noah's weakness.
I would say I was given the benefit of the doubt that he just went to church. He came from church. Him and his brother came from church,
Yeah.
so they came, after from church, and I'm gonna stick to that. But I love that villain, that villain energy and that story as well. You know, but easy pickings, man, easy pickings. Michael, you watch a lot of the losers brackets, right?
Yeah.
Who's some people that stood out to you? We saw the winner, we saw what he did. Who's some people that stood out to you? Maybe he was kind of hanging out more on your side, who kind of showed some promise, or who you liked watching.
Well, I was surprised by the fights from Moldy as well as Fraud. There was also a fight from Noggy, and I was completely surprised for a completely different reason. And that was him quite literally just like swan diving into the abyss, trying to get back on stage, and completely whiffing that, losing his stock. So it was just like, there were some really great plays by a lot of great players, though. And we have to remember these are 16 of the best players in the Bahamas, and they come out every week to the NBH weeklies for Smash, which is how they even got on the ranking. And so they time and time again they know how each other plays. They try and fight against each other, learn their strategies against each other, learn the characters that they play. Like it's quite literally a strategy and mind games all at the same time while you're actually having to fight. So
No,
losers
right.
and winners.
I mean, no, definitely. The big thing about like why we really wanted this event to be a lot bigger than it was originally going to be, because it was going to be at Nom Nom Pita, where they just run their weeklies. Also, shout out to Nom Nom Pita. That's where the Smash scene was born and grown. So shout out to them for allowing them to run all their weeklies there, and they're actually having one on Sunday. So anyone who's interested can absolutely go out there. If you think you're better than that piranha plant that won in the Smash tournament that last Sunday, come on, like let's show that we got some crazy players besides piranha plant.
Yeah, Dre, that's what I'm saying. Especially, I hope to see some, new players, because as the tournament's going on, I'm getting texts, I'm getting calls. People are saying, "Why don't I know about this? I can destroy these guys." People from the U.S., people from Canada, texting me like, we didn't know about this. What's not? And I think that's what it's good for. It's like, okay, you've seen the 16 best we have on paper. If you want to get on paper, this is how it looks. Come on to the weeklies. Make sure you're in the scene. Make sure that you know what's going on, so that you can't come to me and say, "Well, you say there's the best, but I ain't there." Why you ain't there? Get there. All
No,
right,
and
be a part of this.
that's what it is, right? So I mean, we're really happy with the engagement that we've seen on this so far. Like this is by far the most active the community that we've seen. With GameHeads on across all social media platforms has been because because something really really cool happened recently. We haven't had the chance to do things like this with the organizations that are here in this growing esports industry here in the Bahamas right now. But we finally came together and did something like this, and it's really great to see like how that everyone's recognizing that this is something that can be a paradigm shift for the community in terms of activity. right? So by all means, like I'm hoping that like when we put out the flyers and the promotions for the weeklies that are happening with Smash for those who are interested in playing, right? Even if you don't think you're that good, even if you don't think you're going to beat the top 16 that we have right now, or the 16 players, or even the other players that are currently in the Smash community, just to go out there and get to know them, get to be part of that community is the biggest thing that we're trying to push here. Right, that the biggest thing that we really want. And it's funny, Smart Bomb actually just said that this is Dario's game, and that's Lunar Killer, and maybe it is, right? But we don't know that until we find all the other little Smash players coming out of the woodwork to come and beat him, right? So maybe this Sunday we'll find someone that's just been in the basement for like 5 years, just practicing their Lucina or practicing their Bowser, right? And they come to this event on Sunday and wipe everyone. I'd love to see it, but you never know, because we're really trying to get more and more people out there, right? So you said that a lot of people didn't know about what we were doing here, and yeah, because the gaming and what we're doing has always been has been low key, and now that it's sort of coming into the forefront of things, especially with what we're seeing with the story that ZNS did on us. We're getting a ton of engagement across platforms and people talking about this, and that's really what we want, right? And like you said, I've had a bunch of people text me, text my team about like, hey, I didn't know this was happening. How do we get involved? How do we become part of the community? When's the next event? Right? Even some of the guys from Freeport were like, we need one of these over in Freeport, and I'm like, come out to these online weeklies that we have with other games, and because Smash Online is just absolutely horrible, so sorry about that. And some of the other games that maybe has some rollback or has better connectivity over Wi-Fi.
What do you say? Because people are saying since the event they want other FGC tournaments, man. Like, what do you say out there? What do you say to the people who want those other FGC tournaments? Like, how do they, get to bubbling and
I mean, it's really about finding out like who else plays that game, right? If, my brother is a huge Melty Blood fan, huge, right? He's like, you guys should run Melty Blood tournaments, and I'm like, I don't know about that. Right? I don't know how many people even in the Bahamas know about Melty Blood, right? So that's the big thing, is finding games that people actually play here.
Yeah.
Right. So I could run a League of Legends tournament, right? I like League of Legends. I want to run a League of Legends tournament without us having without the players being there and telling us, hey, run a League of Legends tournament, we're going to come out and support. We wouldn't know any better, and we would just be taking shots in the dark. So the biggest thing I would say to people who are looking to be more involved is to start running your own events as well, right? Reach out to us, reach out to Michael at the BESF, right? Talk to us and say, hey, I'm in this WhatsApp group that has like 30 or 40 players, and we all play Apex every night, right? So that's 40 people that we can service, right? When it comes to League of Legends, same thing, right? People, if you have, no matter how big or how small, it could be 5 people, it could be 40 people, it could be 200 people, right? Really banding the community together, the communities together in the Bahamas to become one big community is the way for us to move forward in doing some of the other FGC tournaments, right? I love Strive. I want to do Strive, but I don't know how many players there are for Guilty Gear Strive. And without the players telling us, hey, I play Guilty Gear Strive, these guys play Guilty Gear Strive, right? Let's run some tournaments for it. Or can you run some tournaments for us? We would definitely sign up for them. Then by 100%, we'll do it, right? Absolutely. We want to do as many events and serve as many people as we can in the community to compete, right? So by all means, it's really just anyone who's more unknown, anyone who doesn't necessarily gel with the current community right now, reach out to us. Right, reach out to us, talk to me, talk to Cam, talk to Michael, anyone in the community, and say, hey, this is something we want, and we can have that conversation. We can find the sponsors, find the venues, and or just find the space to do so. So we can run events for you guys, right? And that's the biggest thing.
Definitely. Whether you hit up the BGO or BESF, let them know, where's the community for this? I want to see who all is playing this, and try to be active. I know, like, you go in the Discord to be a little dead and maybe a little not much people saying stuff. But I'm telling you, it only takes one person to start the buzzing, start the interest, and say, "Yo, where's everybody that playing this?" Whenever you get on, you say, "Yo, I'm on. I'm playing this. I'm trying to do with this character," and more than likely somebody's gonna come and say, "Okay, boom, boom, boom. Let's set something up. Let's do something," and then you get that buzz going, and then it just manifests into, okay, instead of doing this online, let's get some weeklies in, and then some weeklies in, you start doing qualifiers and things like that. But you can't wait for everybody else. Right? You can't
Of
wait to say,
course.
"Well, ain't nobody playing the game I playing." If you playing it, you gotta step forward and say, "Yo, I playing." All right, where y'all is?
And that's typically how
Definitely.
it goes. Like, even with Valorant, I see some people. That's how, when Valorant first started up, that's how we were even running some 5-man stacks. I see people doing that with League of Legends from time to time. Even more recently, I think I see some people talking about Call of Duty again. That's been an off and on thing, but we actually have our community people starting that back up again. I also see people talking on Fortnite. There's another group that's plays Wild Rift, but when I talk to them, they're like, "Oh, we're only casual." That's how you start. You start as casual,
Yeah.
and like that started the conversation between them, and they were like, "Yeah, well, we play for fun, but if we can make some bub of that, that'd be what's
Yeah,
wrong with
no,
that?"
all the 16 players that we had at the $1,000 invitational, they all played for fun. They just got really good at the game, and we're like,
Yeah.
let's play for fun and play for some money as well, right? And that was the big thing. So like with Smash, like they're one of a kind community here in the Bahamas, because without it really anyone of the bigger organizations or really anyone just doing anything for them to serve them, they decided, let's do it ourselves. Right, let's band together because we all play Smash. Let's find a place to go do it. Let's run weeklies, and let's just play with each other all the time. And that's what they've been doing for years, right?
Mhm.
So it was an easy decision when it came to, okay, what game are we going to do for this event? It's an easy decision to say, well, we know that there's an active Smash community. Let's do Smash, right? And so that's the main thing right now for every other community, right? If you're a part of a League of Legends community, or you want to see Street Fighter in a big venue like Fusion, or you want to see a game that you play out there and you want to compete and you want to play with other people, right? You got to reach out, you got to talk to people, and you got to really become part of that community, right? Because that's the only way that that's the only reason why Smash got to the Smash community got to the place that they are right now, and they're at a better place afterwards, because now they're growing exponentially, because this big thing happened. There's so many eyes on it, and everyone's like, "Hey, I play Smash. Let me come out to this thing on Sunday."
Yeah, I think I've
Definitely.
even seen a few people show up inside the Smash WhatsApp group just as of today.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
What I'm saying is, community, be a part of community, be active, right? Because I know who active, and I had this joke because I actually brought I have a little Luigi, Smash controller, and I had it on the table. And then as things started, I put it back in my bag. And I was like, I'm not even going to go on the casuals. All right, shout out to TEK. You know what I'm saying? Dre, you have more, like, how did everything go with TEK and the casuals and the side tournaments with TEK has been doing?
Yeah, no. So they ran like a what was it? It was like a generational Street Fighter tournament. It was really cool. I've never seen like something like that, where they started at the early Street Fighters, and then as their event progressed, it went from one generation to the next generation to the next generation, the next iteration of Street Fighter, until they finally got to Street Fighter 5. right?
Mhm.
And apparently they had a guy who was like just undefeated in every single one. Like they couldn't move him, so people were just like, you know what, man, just give him the trophy. There's no way we're beating him, right? But and that guy, like, kudos to him, right? But 100%, he was a monster in those games and in Street Fighter. But I would love to see a community or a number of players band around him to play with him, so he can maybe even show them, some how he won, right? So, or they can even play against him and they can get better. So maybe at the next time TK does something like that, it's not just so maybe someone beats him out because they learned how he plays, right? Which is such a big thing. Right? Just learning the styles of how people play it and how to play against them, and how to counteract the things that they most commonly do in the game, right? That's what Dario Leonard Killer did to Noah Fraudfish that day on Sunday when he brought out the Piranha Plant. He knew what Noah likes to do. He knew that Noah likes to play risky. He likes to go way off stage, go deep, and he knows that Noah likes to try and combo him. And all he had to do was press B at the right time. Spike ball comes out, and Noah would be dead. Right? So
Those 3 times.
exactly right. I'm seeing them right now, dude. Like it was crazy, and like that's just what it was, because they play so much to a level where like they all know everyone's styles, right? So it becomes a much deeper game of, I know how he plays, I know his play style. How am I going to change how I play so I'm not so predictable, and how am I going to counteract some of the things that I know that he likes to do when we're on whatever stage, or when he's playing whatever character, So as far as TEK goes, right, they ran some multiverses games out there. They ran some more Smash, because one thing Smash players like is Smash, and that's all the Smash players that got kicked out of bracket. Yeah, they went straight to the the Smash table outside on the balcony and continued to play Smash, right? And they had Street Fighter, Dragon Ball Fighters out there, and Soul Calibur, right? So it was really cool to see some new faces, and to see what like people like to play as well out there, because originally it was just supposed to be, we're gonna have Mario Kart, we're gonna have Street Fighter, we're gonna have Smash, and we're gonna have multiverses. But how people, when you have a console out there that has a number of games, people like to take liberties, and they'll just go straight into your library and be like, oh, they got this game, let me play that real quick, right? So people would change the games on the consoles and to what they like to play, and it would even draw a bigger crowd towards their side, because they're like, people would be like, oh, I didn't know they had what was it?
Battle for the Grid.
No, they didn't Battle for the Grid, bro. I don't know much about that one, but as far as some of the other ones they brought out there, yeah, definitely it was really, really cool to see how many people were interested in playing different games for the friendlies.
Definitely, man. I don't know what's gonna be next. I don't think it's gonna be multiverses right now, but the hype around it and the interest in it it seems like it's gonna be big. But are they gonna get those balances out for competitive? We'll see. We'll see.
I
I
don't know.
just don't see it right now.
The hitboxes need to get fixed first, and that's
Yeah.
what I think the next patch is all about.
It's almost like the worse you are at brawlers, the better you do, right? Because you're trying to be methodical and strategic and surgical in your play. Coming from Smash, is like I gotta have everything on point, but then the button mashers are destroying you. Right? You got Arya, and you're trying to piece together combos and be in the right places, and Jake is just dropping on top of you.
And
they fix Taz.
On you, right?
Shaggy just has to press Y.
Yeah. But even so, man, I mean, they just ran some competitions as well, and Void won one, right? I mean, playing Tom and Jerry, doing some crazy things I didn't think that Tom and Jerry could do, right? But that's just right. He's just different when it comes to esports. And he comes from Smash originally, so it wasn't that much of a change to this. Just a much more floaty game than Smash is. Not as snappy, but even still, right? One of the top players in that scene currently, right? So hey, even with some of the with some of the Smash players, right? They're moving over to multiverses. Like some of the Smash players that we had over on Sunday actually asked, like, you guys gonna have multiverses out? Are you guys looking to do multiverses in the future? And I'm like, absolutely, right? So Smash players definitely, it's still a Smash clone. They're there, and it's a Smash clone that's not dead on arrival, right? So they're very interested to see like where it's going to go, and yeah, they're good at the game regardless.
Mm-hmm. I'm interested to see what do I want to see. What do you want to see, Michael?
What, from multiverses?
No, I mean just future events. What game you
Ooh.
got your little eye
I mean,
on?
oh, for me, let's see. Right now, I'm looking for Tekken 8. I want to get my hands on that. I'm looking at Overwatch 2. I'm looking at that new, well, Riot's fighting game that still doesn't have a name yet.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I want to,
got
like,
my
I've seen that, and I like.
Project.
I know they're gonna get these hitboxes and everything right on. Like, that's just one of the things that Riot does well. I just hope they balance it. Like, balancing is always their issue. But yeah, I think for the most part, those would be my main games that are going to be coming out, not necessarily the ones that are already out and that I'm getting into.
Yeah, I mean, especially with that you would want to see in an event, a tournament.
Yeah,
I thought you was gonna say.
I've been playing
Apex.
Overwatch for. I mean, Apex has been asked for. Like, even when we were doing the Smash, I quite literally got a message saying, "Hey, so when's the Apex Legends tournament?" Which we do run them bi-weekly, but it's online. It's not like an actual, like, everyone's sitting down inside the same area playing against one another.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Apex tournaments, right? I mean, we would love to run one, but just the amount of just the space that you need, the sheer space that you need to run that, along with the equipment, right? Unless people are into bringing their own PCs and setting them up, right? Maybe we could find a venue that's big enough, right? But it's a much more challenging event to try and run because it's 60 people at a time that you have in a game, right? So if we're running an Apex match, unless we're running arenas, if people will be okay with like arenas matches, which
I do like arenas,
but most people, at least just from the community perspective, just internationally, arenas hasn't been dead, but like it's not nearly as sought after as just the main game mode.
But if you were to start, let's do arenas just to start, because if you're good at the core Apex, right, and arenas mode comes out, I'm sure you could put in a few weeks of you have your squad, put in a few weeks in arenas and try to win that prize.
You could, but it's a completely different game at that point. It's kind of like saying anyone who wants to play League of Legends, we're going to run an ARAM tournament. It's a completely different meta. It's a completely different play style. People who play Summoner's Rift don't want to play ARAM, and people who play ARAM don't want to play Summoner's Rift. It's the same thing with Apex, right? If you are in main mode, there's so much more you have to think about. And so many different things you have to think about that does not lend itself to arenas where like you get to choose your gun and there's an economy to it. There's no economy to Apex main mode, right? It's like you find guns on the floor, you pick them up, you run and gun, and you take calculated fights, and you third party, and you think about positioning and movements and all of that, and the ring closes over time, right? And then the end game happens, and that's when things get extremely crazy. That's not the same for arenas, right? So you might have an instance, unless like the overall Apex community in the Bahamas was like, it's okay, y'all could run arenas, and we'll come out. I wouldn't be so quick to do that. I would try and find a way to run the main game mode because that's what the majority of players would want to play and compete in.
Yep. There's a lot of different metas just even inside the main game mode, just like how people play.
Exactly.
Like they're already used to hiding things. Like quite literally, one of our first tournaments that we did for the weeklies, someone tried to hide inside a building. Like in a little, like small little cubby hole. You quite literally had to jump up into, it was like 3 people left of different teams, and somehow someone found him and just took out and won. It was like, yeah,
Yeah,
there's a
exactly,
lot of
right.
different ways to this.
Exactly, right. You could be a team where you're like super aggressive and you got a Wraith, you got an Octane, you got a Revenant, right? Or you got a Valkyrie, like super high mobility, and you're just taking every fight and you're just scrapping all game. Or you can play Rampart, Caustic, Watson, right? And you could play Rampart, Crypto, Watson, or something, right? Like something where you're going to camp the final ring, you're going to get there before everyone else, you're going to take the best spot, you're going to set up, and as soon as you see people, you're going to spray them down, right? Because you're going to have that. You'll be playing team, not Team Fortress. You're going to be playing a Fortnite at that point, right? Like you're just defending your base, and that's what you're doing, right? That's the completely different play style of the game, right? So yeah, like I said, it doesn't necessarily lend itself to different game modes. It really depends on what the overall community wants, and that's what we're here to do, is to service people and players in what they want, right? Not what might just be feasible. But if they come out to us in droves and they're like, oh, we want an Apex 60-person Apex tournament in person, right? Then we'll try and find a way to do it, right? And really try and cop out and say, oh no, we'll do arenas instead. You know.
Definitely. I just wanted to put this final round just on the screen, as you know, we wrap things up, just so you know, just so you can see it. Just as we, wrap things up. But NBA Smash, the Super Smash Brothers Ultimate $1,000 invitational, man. At the end of the tournament, I was like, "Yo, Leonard Killer, let me dollar," and he started to top his pockets. He said, "Dollar." I say, "Yeah, man, you win all that money, And I was like, he might have actually gave me $1. I should have just let him. I just should have let him, continue. All right. I kind of, man, this last match was so. It was so. It was tense for me because I had so much faith in Noah, right? I was like, I mean, I don't know Leonard Killer, I don't know a lot of the other players. I know Noah, I know Reefy, I know, I've seen Hidden play a lot of time. Hidden destroyed me one time, so I know Hidden. But I'm like, when is Noah gonna turn this around, right? So I'm just like, Noah, okay, do the cool thing that you're gonna do to turn this around, and it just wasn't happening. It
Yeah,
was
the
not
I
plan
was
happening.
surprised when I saw this
was too
Gandalf
strong,
though.
man.
Sorry, Gandalf.
The
Ganondorf pick was
Ganondorf.
Ganondorf, yeah.
the
Yeah.
Ganon pick was hype. And no one really saw it coming because I mean, maybe not in the audience. Maybe Leonard Killer saw it coming. Maybe some of the other players that he plays with pretty consistently saw it coming. But me personally, knowing Noah for a long time, I've never really seen him bring out the Ganondorf like that, right? Especially when it came down to like this last match. It was a very I'm not going to say strange, but like he shocked everyone with the pick because like we knew that maybe the Meta Knight wasn't working so well, right? And he knew that as well. But then he picked someone like you're seeing right here, like all Piranha Plant had to do was just jump off stage, press B. Jump off stage, press B while Ganondorf is trying to recover. And he was going to he racked up like almost like 50 or 60%, right? Just off of that, and almost killed him on the last one, right? And the only reason Noah was able to get back on stage was because of player error, not character error there, because he could have just kept doing the same thing with Spike Ball and he would have killed him. Right. So very interesting pick from Noah. I wish it panned out for him. Okay, I lie. I don't wish it panned out for him because I'm a Piranha Plant. I'm Team Piranha Plant all the way. But still, it was really, really cool to see that him switch the characters up. And it was a really fun pick to watch, especially in those matches.
All right. Oh boy. I'm interested to see the next one. Like knowing, we have this winner. It's like on this, when you have a winner on this stage like this, the stakes get increased, right? Like I'm sure they was like, yo, is this a tournament? It's just big. We gotta practice. We gotta get it together. You're on camera now. you're on camera, you're online for real. People have seen you play in this, and this is now on a different stage, right? People probably gonna be studying his piranha plant. They should, if they're serious about the game, about the meta. They should be studying the piranha plant. They should be studying Noah's meta knight. They should be studying, Hidden's was it Sephiroth, right? Maybe not. Some people, if you think you're good, you're like, I don't need to study that. But I think you're gonna be watching these VODs
Yeah, well,
uh
as
over until the next
prize,
one.
yeah, as prize pools get bigger, right? For what we're doing down here, and as we as the scene gets more competitive and it gets more filled with players who want to play competitively, then absolutely we'll see a lot more of that, right? Where people are like watching the VODs and people are watching the matches to see how these other guys play because they're like, oh, he plays a character that like beats my character. Let me see how he plays,
Yeah.
right? Or that has like a pretty good matchup against my character. Let me see how he plays. So maybe if I want to stick to my character in that uphill battle in that matchup, I can at least see what his mannerisms are and where he'll usually make mistakes. And I know Lynn for the Meta Knight matches, particularly, he saw that Noah went off stage quite a bit, and Noah likes to play really risky, right? And
Yeah.
he capitalized off of that because all it took was one gimp, all it took was one spike ball to ruin Noah's day, right? And that's what we saw. That's what we saw there on Sunday.
Man, just to be so calculated in a game that's so fast paced as this it kind of boggles my mind. Like I love to come out to casuals. Like I got my controller that I would, bring with me, and I would come out and, play some games. I've lost to Dre's Donkey Kong, but I think
Donkey Kong.
I've beat your Donkey Kong.
No, man, it was
Yes.
Bowser.
Bowser. No, you've played Donkey Kong against
No,
me.
I don't play Donkey
Yeah,
Kong.
you played the Donkey Kong once,
I
but
did
it was,
not play.
yes, it's your you. I lost to your Bowser. It's really fun coming out, playing Smash in a big group, right? It's something really fun about it, man. You may see me at some of the weeklies. I'm just gonna say, yo, just put a monitor somewhere for the filthy
The
casuals.
filthy casuals.
Yeah, like the filthiest of the filthy, right? It's just yeah. That's where I'll be. Anyway, gents, let's wrap things up. There's gonna be more things happening. Any of the matches are gonna be posted on the GameHeads YouTube page. So, like I say, if you need to study, or you just missed one of your favorite players, and it's gonna be interesting as people get to know the names of these players, man. That's what I'd like as well. You're
Yeah.
gonna be rooting for them. It's gonna be like people gonna start to feel like, well, I know what Fraudfish is gonna do. I know what Linnet Killer is gonna do, and then I just like the idea of that happening. All right, so all the VODs are gonna get posted up on there, and excited to see what happens from this. Michael,
Hey,
what do you say in wrapping up?
once again, it was an awesome event. I'm looking forward to people showing out for the next one. I'm looking forward to the next one. And, if people want to either be a part of it, either as a player, spectator, venue, donator, supporter of any form or fashion, even a volunteer, like Dre said earlier on inside this, reach out. Because that's the only way this thing actually grows.
Mm-hmm.
Reach out, show out. Let's make this great.
All that good stuff, Dre.
Yeah, man, I think I've said enough, but everything that Michael said, 100%. The only reason we are able to do this is because the Smash community is so tight knit, and they
consistent.
then consistent, and consistency is key. right? And that's something that we're not really seeing with the other communities right now. So we're really trying to make it get to a point where all the communities are being serviced by organizations like us. It doesn't have to be a GameHeads event. It doesn't have to be a BESF event, right? Anyone who's out there that wants to get into organizing local events, right? Get into it. It's not super hard to get into, and you have so many resources just here in us and in other organizers that already are doing it for their own games, right? So if you see that there's a game that's not being organized for, right, why not do it yourself? And we'd love to work with people who have that mindset of, what, I love this game, I want to see this game be played competitively in my country. I'm going to organize those tournaments, right? And we'll be there every step of the way with you. So 100% reach out to us on Facebook, Instagram, even YouTube comments. But but the best place to reach us is Discord and WhatsApp, right? The GameHeads community WhatsApp, the GameHeads Discord, the BGO. Those are the best places to reach out to us. At Sauce or Bushido and another one, or Sumi or Cam Comfort, right? We're not scary, so just come say hi and let's talk about pushing esports forward for everyone.
Yeah, I just want to shout out all the players, man.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
All the players.
This was. I remember when we put this out, people were so hyped to see this.
Dex Bubba, Glum wasn't able to come out. Hidden, he did his thing. Shout out to Kaz, man. Kaz kind of stood out, as well as Kajay.
Yeah, for the
commentating.
For commentating as well. Yeah.
Yeah, Moldy Sim was like a favorite of mine. That Diddy Kong, man. I like main.
He was a terror.
like I main Diddy Kong. Like I'm not good enough to say I have a main, but I do main Diddy Kong. When I played Smash, so it was nice to see Diddy Kong and Wolf, and so Moldy Sim was like one. I like.
He was an inspiration.
He was an inspiration. I was like, he's Diddy and that Diddy Kong. It was nice to see, man. So hopefully and shout out to Eddie and everybody who commentated. Shout out to Tyler. Shout out to Kajay. Shout out to Alex. Alex was really good on that commentator table. I learned a lot of things as well, and it kept everything hype. So yeah, shout out to our commentators as well for that event. Yeah, it was good. That's good. Shout out to Fusion.
You missed the venue. I was just saying you were missing out on Fusion, right?
Yeah, shout out to Fusion for the venue. I had some popcorn, but I did not get the move. I had the elbow. Michael, I said, Michael, let's get up, let's stretch, let's get some stretching in. All right. So
I just saw this big bag of popcorn just plop down on the table next to us. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I had to get my popcorn or what's not, but
it was the
that's it. It was a sweatshop, but bigger, better, more things on the way. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. Everybody, watching in. Everybody in the chat. Smart Bomb 13. I saying 13. Stubby or Stubby. Magaso passing through in the chat. Everybody passing through. Yajib passing through in the chat in the stream. All right. More time. We don't have nothing to say to close out. He just is close out.
Yeah, we just close out. There's not much we got to say after that.
Yeah. That's it. That's the GameHeads XP. More to come. Make sure to follow on all the socials. All right.